My name is Joe. 20 years ago, my wife and I moved to Lake County with our 4 young children and settled down. In that time, we've worked, worshiped, played, and raised our family. Today, I've met the people and discovered the businesses and organizations that make up a vibrant, dynamic community. Join us as we share with you what makes South Lake great. I'm Joe, and Joe knows South Lake. Good morning, everybody. Welcome, and happy Monday. Man, it is, I almost said Wednesday. You caught me. I get it. But I caught myself, so I'm getting better. It's a happy South Lake morning. I am so excited for today. Look, today on the show, today is National Inner Beauty Day. We're going to talk really briefly about that. We're going to talk about the golden child. Stay tuned. We're going to have a cup of Joe today. And Jennifer Hawkins, Starbound Performers Dance Studio founder, owner, and president, is joining us for an interview. This woman is doing some amazing stuff with young men and women in the community in relation to dance. You really have to stay tuned for this. We're going to hear from our family of sponsors first, but as soon as we come back, we're going to get started. I'll see you in a minute.
The best things in life aren't items we can grab and hold. They are the moments that grab and hold us. Moments that captivate us, inspire us, and enrich us. Moments that bring joy, strength, and peace. At Sing Insurance and Financial Services, we help you to treasure these times by being there when life's most difficult moments arise. Through our services, you will find independence, flexibility, health, and security that will prosper and protect your life. Whether you are driving that new car, buying that new home, opening that new business, or building a new family, we provide you the peace of mind and freedom to enjoy life's best things. Your next moment is waiting. Are you ready?
Purchasing a home? Hi, I'm Mary Rhodes with the Mortgage Firm, your local direct lender for FHA, VA, conventional, and USDA mortgages. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, a seasoned investor, or looking to purchase a vacation home, we can help. Visit our website today for more information.
Welcome to Erica's Tea Room. Located in the heart of downtown Claremont, this specialty tea shop offers a traditional high tea experience that can be enjoyed with family and friends. While here, you can choose from over 100 teas from all over the world, and a multitude of teapots are available for purchase. Join us for lunch or choose from one of our special evening events. Call to make a reservation. Erica's Tea Room, making memories with every cup.
Welcome back. It is always so good to hear from our family of sponsors. If you are not calling them, if you are not using them, you should. And you should. And Joe knows South Lake when you do. So please go ahead and give them a call if you need those services. Even if you don't, give them a call. You may need those services someday soon. Never know. All right, what are we going to talk about today? Inner Beauty Day. I can't believe there's a national day for inner beauty. Actually, I can. Because so often, particularly in our social media culture, we focus on the wrong things. Man, I can remember, you may not believe this looking at me now, but there was a time when I was a ladies' man. I was a young Marine. I looked good in a uniform. I was much more svelte. I was a pseudo bodybuilder. Hard to believe, isn't it, Jay?
Joe, I'm going to stay out of this one.
I had hair then.
You got hair now, Joe.
Yeah, some. My children love to say I have a 5 head. So anyways.
Hey, don't worry. Christmas is coming. I'm going to get you that Capillus hat.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
That you've gotten stuck on my Facebook page for the rest of my life. Thank you.
You're welcome. You'll need it someday.
Thank you.
So anyways, the point is, I had a lot of girlfriends. I did. And actually, when I met my wife, I told her I had a lot of girlfriends, and she could be one of them. And she said no. And I was like, well, okay, we'll be friends. I'm all right with that. We don't need no canoodling. And But my wife was really cool. She was very, very intelligent. She had a great sense of humor. She is smoking hot, okay, and I had a type of girl that I dated, very blonde, very I don't even know, but you can imagine athletic. We'll just leave it at that. And there came a point where I realized that that just wasn't enough for me. My wife, I could spend hours talking to my wife and seeing the person that she was, the compassion she had. She was a special ed teacher, and that said a lot to me. I really was very, very shallow, but even in my shallowness, the idea of who she was made her far more beautiful in my eyes. And I think that's what Inner Beauty Day is all about. Are we seeing the beauty of people by getting to know them? Look, there's only one way you're going to get to know somebody's inner beauty, and that's to have a relationship. Now, it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, but if you look for the inner beauty in the people in your lives, their value in your life will increase. And you know what? Your value will increase. So go out there and find some inner beauty today. Shine your inner beauty so that others may find value. We're going to talk about the golden child. What is the golden child? Well, as all of my children will tell you, my second oldest son, Robert Carlisle, it's his birthday today. And growing up, Robert was considered the golden child. It seemed as if Robert could do no wrong. Actually, he had more of the Midas touch. Everything Robert did succeeded. But he's not the golden child. Robert is actually very, very successful. I am extremely proud of him. But one of the things Robert is good at, as opposed to my other children, was hiding failure. Now, Robert hated to fail. So when Robert attempted something and it didn't work, he'd attempt it again and again, and he'd shift. He's very, very disciplined. Robert hated attention if it wasn't done right or he wasn't successful at it. To Robert, just doing his best wasn't good enough. Your best didn't have any value to him unless it led to further attempts to be successful. My other children all had a thing, and it's human nature, I do it too, is when we fail, we want the attention for failing and trying. And that was what the difference was. Now, Robert is not the golden child. I am very proud of him. It is his birthday today. I want to say happy birthday to him. But all of my children have become successful in their own way. And if Robert is a golden child, it's because of the example he sets for continuing even when he does fail. And that leads me actually into the theme of this week's Cup of Joe. We're going to examine failure and the value of failure and how to overcome failure. And the only thing I'd like to say about failure today, because we are going to cover it all week, is that there is no success without failure. It's easy to think that something is going to happen quickly. The most successful people in the world, in business, in sports, in entertainment, in finance, in parenting, whatever it is, will tell you they had far more failures than they had successes. As a matter of fact, the Sultan of Swing, Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth was famous for many, many years having the home run record. But there's a record Babe Ruth still has that most people completely ignore. Babe Ruth still has the Major League strikeout record. The reason Babe Ruth hit so many home runs was because he took a cut at the ball. He was willing to strike out. And in the process of striking out, he hit a few homers. So we're going to talk about that this week. I want to say thank you for listening. When we come back from the break, we're going to hear from the family of sponsors again. When we come back from the break, we're going to talk to Jennifer Hawkins. She is the founder, owner, and president of the Starbound Performers Dance Studio. She's doing some amazing things through her love of dance and the people in the community. She's doing some amazing things. So we're going to hear from her when we come back. She'll be with us. I'll see you in a minute. Pay attention to that family of sponsors.
Hello, I'm Mary Rhodes with the mortgage firm, your local mortgage lender. I've helped thousands of families achieve the dream of homeownership in Lake County, and I would love to help you. Our team has over 30 years of experience helping first-time homebuyers, veterans, move-up buyers, seasoned investors, and more. Please read our reviews and visit us at mortgagefirmpros.com.
Welcome to Erica's Tea Room. Located in the heart of downtown Clearmont, this specialty tea shop offers a traditional high tea experience that can be enjoyed with family and friends. While here, you can choose from over 100 teas from all over the world, and a multitude of teapots are available for purchase. Join us for lunch or choose from one of our special evening events. Call to make a reservation. Erica's Tea Room, making memories with every cup.
The best things in life aren't items we can grab and hold. They are the moments that grab and hold us. Moments that captivate us, inspire us, and enrich us. Moments that bring joy, strength, and peace. At Sing Insurance and Financial Services, we help you to treasure these times by being there when life's most difficult moments arise. Through our services, you will find independence, flexibility, health, and security that will prosper and protect your life. Whether you are driving that new car, buying that new home, opening that new business, or building a new family, we provide you the peace of mind and freedom to enjoy life's best things. Your next moment is waiting. Are you ready?
Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's so good to hear from that family of sponsors. Again, use them when you can. Give them a call. Tell them you heard about them on Joe Knows South Lake. I want to welcome Jennifer Hawkins of the Starbound Performers Dance Studio. I met Jennifer actually at the Sips and Salsa Festival in Claremont a couple of weeks ago. That is when she came on my radar, and there was something during my little interview there that really kind of stuck me about the way I have a little bit of background in dance. I have some experience with dance teachers, having raised so many kids, and there was just something about Jennifer and the girls she had with her that was just not just endearing, it was memorable. And so the girls really plucked my heart. Jennifer's professionalism and care for these girls really plucked my heart. And so I wanted to get her on, and I'm so glad we were able to put it together. How are you?
I'm doing great, Joe. Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction. And our girls did fall in love with you that day, Joe.
Yeah.
Joe even bought them some ice cream. And I'll tell you what, you buy ice cream for children, and they will be your best friends forever.
Well,
so
good.
It was a pleasure meeting you there, and I'm glad we were able to connect today.
Let me let you know, Jennifer has some bona fides here. She is the founder, owner, and president of Starbound Performers Dance Studio. The dance studio is 10 years old. She's been 32 years as a coach and a teacher. Must have started when she was like 9.
Thank you for the compliment, Joe.
She is a 10-year member of the USA Gymnastics Association?
That's correct.
Gymnastics Association. She's a member of the Dance Merchant. Oh, man, I should always wear my glasses when reading these things. On the Dance Merchant Association, she's a member of the Dance Studio Owners Association, and she is a member of the U.S. Spirit Dance Federation. Wow. I guess you love dance, right?
Love dance, and have loved dance from the time that I could probably twirl and spin in our house. I'm sure my parents thought it would be important to get me enrolled in a dance class right away. So,
How did you become a dancer and then a teacher? Give us an idea of that. I mean, obviously your parents said, hey, maybe she likes this. Let's put her in some classes, right?
I think that's what happened. I'm the oldest of 4 daughters. And so, our parents always reached out to see what they could do to develop our talents. And that was something I think my parents saw in me at a young age. And I have my mother to thank for actually getting the courage to take me to a dance class as a 2-3-year-old, and just
That
fell
took
in
some
love with
courage.
it at that point. So she was not a dancer. I don't think that was something she ever thought that as a mother she'd have us enrolled in, but she took the step to take me to a dance class and fell in
Now,
love
did
with
you
it
lead
there.
the way? Did your other sisters also dance?
They did, actually. I'm the oldest of the 4 daughters, and so I have a sister, Amy, who's right next in line underneath me, and she took dance, but it was not her thing, and fell in love with diving, and she's a wonderful musician. But my other sisters, Stacy and Marilee, did follow suit and became cheerleaders and gymnasts, and so it definitely was in our blood.
So, one of the neat things I think about when you and I were talking about how you transitioned from dancer, kid who loves dance, to dancer to teacher is you didn't have a stint on Broadway. You didn't. A lot of dance teachers have this stint of professionalism or pseudo-professionalism. Maybe they whacked at it for 6 months and they say they were a pro.
Right.
You went straight from dancer, and you were tell me about that process. What you had said about the teachers that you respected and how that just kind of directed your path.
Sure, absolutely. Well, I grew up in Maryland and Philadelphia, Pennsylvania area, and had the opportunity to dance and train under some amazing performers. And they were staff members and teachers that actually trained some of the best in the world, from Baryshnikov to Broadway stars. And I think through their example and the training that they presented to their studio, that I just fell in love with them as instructors and teachers, and I wanted to be like them. So as a little girl, I had a dream to be just like Miss Laurie, who was my dance teacher, and I wanted to have a dance studio and be the best dance instructor I could possibly be. And I've had the opportunity to make some of those dreams come true because of a wonderful example and a leader.
Now, have
at
you
a
always
young
owned
age.
your own studio?
I have always had my own studio, yes.
So that 32 years, it was all you. You were the business person.
That is right.
The entrepreneur. We love entrepreneurs.
That is
here.
right.
They have a special, it's not just about what you do. It's about getting what you do out there. It's important. Tell us about Starbound Performers.
Well, Starbound Performers developed about 10 years ago. Prior to that, I had been a mobile dance instructor and also had owned a studio out in Nevada. And so when I moved to Florida, I didn't have a place necessarily that we were settling down quite yet, and so did a lot of mobile dance studio training in several of the preschools and elementary schools all over Central Florida. After years of doing that, though, there were teachers that and parents that wanted me to actually settle down and have a place where they could bring their student week to week versus just when the schools were open. So Starbound Performers was launched here in Claremont 10 years ago, and we now have a studio that's a brick and mortar off of Highway 27, but we continue to do our outreach program work, and so we continue to work with several of the schools, preschool, elementary, middle, and high school, not only in Central Florida and Lake County, but all over the state of Florida. So,
tell us a little bit about that. One of the things that really struck me about your concept was, you do private lessons, I'm sure, at the studio, and I'm sure that, like any business person, if somebody wanted a private lesson in their mansion, out at Lake Nona or something, you'd go accommodate them. You're a business person.
Sure.
But you've done something a lot won't. And that's to go into the schools to provide access to dance for kids who might not normally be able to come to the studio and that sort of thing.
That's true. There's so many family dynamics that we see today, and not every child's going to have the opportunity to come to a dance facility. And so being able to provide our program on campus allows those types of children to have that experience. And we try to make sure that their experience on campus is just as special and just as important as what they would receive at our actual physical studio location. So that's really important to me.
Was that an outgrowth of what you were doing before you had the bricks and mortar studio, or was it something that was important to you? Did you start that concept because of something that occurred to you of that concept?
I've had the opportunity to work with children for a long time, and I did notice that there were a lot of children being left behind in the world of performing arts because they physically could not drive themselves or get themselves to a location where they could learn those skills. So from the get-go, I believe that that was super important to me, to make sure that those children weren't left behind. They're just as important and just as talented as those that would have the opportunity to come to our studio location.
So I want to branch off for a quick second. You and I had that conversation about the perverted idea of what a dance studio is because of reality shows. Right. You know, I will tell you, a good dance studio is not like those television shows. People who bully their students are only creating forced discipline. There's a better way to do it. And again, it was something about when I met your girls. It was just the vibe. Nobody was scared. Nobody was, you know, I can remember being in the Marine Corps. You did things because you didn't want to pay the consequences. Right. You know, those girls were doing things because they loved it, because they loved you, and they loved each other. Can you tell us a little bit about your theory of training?
Well, we definitely want any student of ours to walk away happy every day from our studio. We want them to be trained well. We want them to learn the skills that they need to succeed in this realm of dance. But we also want them to be really good, active leaders in the community. We want them to have values that have been installed in them. And so every month we as a staff have decided that we'll focus on some of these values and implement them into our training every day. And so the month of August, when school started, we felt that it would be important for them to understand that they would have to respect the teacher in the classroom and to respect one another. Last month, it was all about friendship, another important thing when making a bond or developing friendships within the classroom would be really important. And this month, we're discussing courage. This was the month that we started launching some of our performances in the community. And so we know that a lot of the children get very scared and they're timid and they're shy, and for some of our students, they've never had the opportunity to perform up on a stage before. So to have the courage to be able to get up there and to dance and perform and to have their, you know, moment in the lights would be very important to make sure that they understand they've got to have that inner courage. So
it's a whole lot different than doing it in the studio. Is actually, Jay and I joke, it's all fun and games until you go live.
That's right.
You know,
we're stuttering over our words today even because
right.
We're just, you know, we're rattling things off, and I've already made mistakes in here. So, but anyway, it's just to have the courage to stand for something, whether it's standing up for what your beliefs are, standing for who you are, or standing up for another individual. It's important to have that courage to do so.
Do you know, it was really apparent in your girls, their care for one another. I have to say that when I brought, I kind of ambushed Jennifer and her troop.
True.
I saw that they were there. I was just kind of sneaking people over for an interview. And so we had to round up the girls. And on the way over to the booth, what I noticed is that the older girls naturally took charge of the younger girls. That they were going to make sure everybody, the parents and Jennifer were lagging behind us quite a bit.
That is
but
true.
Those older girls were going to make sure nobody got lost. They had an eye on each other, but they each had assigned themselves one or two of the younger girls. It was just, I mean, I raised a bunch of kids. It's not necessarily easy to do. Instilling that obviously is coming not just from you, it's coming from the parents,
too, yes.
But your effect. I know how important dance is. When they get into this, it becomes a lifestyle.
Right.
But that was part of the lifestyle. Nobody was a star. Nobody was acting like a diva.
No.
Let me put it that way.
And that was unsolicited. You saw that. I didn't even notice that they had done that because that's something I see every day, but that stood out to you. And I love that you pointed that out to me. I think you caught them in a moment where they were walking down the streets and they were all connected hand to hand and, you know, arms wrapped around one another.
In the midst of distraction and
Yes.
19 million things going on,
You know, and I think you tapped into something there. It's not only coming from us as the studio owner and the staff, but it also comes from the amazing parents that we have at our studio. And I want them to know how thankful and I am, as the owner of my place of business, that they've chose our studio to be the one to help raise their children in addition to what they're doing already in their homes.
Do you you have a standard? I mean, do you ever turn a student away? I mean, again, I refer to those bad reality shows. You know, there's always, they create that drama moment where they have to look at a child and say, no, you don't cut it. You know, you can either stand in back or you can leave.
You know, we see all different walks of life these days, and I don't think it would be appropriate for me to turn anyone away. We want to embrace them and love them and do our best. Now, does that mean that we're going to be perfect in what we do? Absolutely not. We're going to make mistakes just like anyone else is going to out there. But we will definitely give it every try that we possibly can to help them make their dreams come true while they're with us.
You know, we talked a little bit about values and themes, but there are some other values that come along with dance that I'm not sure that you even have a theme for. Maybe it's a little too early in the year for the theme. But teaching kids that age discipline. You know, one of the themes of my life and my show is there's no mistake, there's no tragedy, there's no situation that you can't overcome.
True.
If you don't do the right thing long enough, over time, consistently. You know, what kind of things do you have to do to teach them? They can't just be dancing in front of you. I'm sure they're, you know, you've got to instill a discipline. How do you do that without the bullying?
Okay, so I'll share a great example that just happened this past weekend. Our studio was chosen out of, there were 10 other studios in addition to ours that had the opportunity to perform down at Walt Disney World this past weekend. And I think through the training that we've provided, there was something that we noticed that, and everyone around us did as well, and that was the respect and the discipline. When it was time to line up to go to the buses or to go down to Disney property in front of all of these other groups from all over the country, there was Starbound performers representing Lake County and Claremont, Florida, in a straight, perfect line, feet in fifth positions, hands behind their back, collectively put together and ready to go. And we received so many beautiful compliments, but that started in the classroom with some amazing staff that we have and making sure that the students understand that when they're speaking, as the adult, you as the child respect them. And then when the studio owner walks in the door, you respect her. If your parents are there and they're speaking to you, you need to make eye contact with them and show the respect that is needed. That's very important. Children like discipline. They actually love to have their schedules planned for them throughout the day. They like knowing what's coming next. And having that, you know, in the classroom really does help them outside in the real world. And it was definitely noticed this past weekend.
You know, my wife and I raised a lot of stray teenagers in the time that my children were in high school, which was a 12-year span. Mm-hmm. And I have always said, people ask me how you do it, and I said, well, you know, it's easy. My job was to give them a safe place to love them, give them a safe place to live, and create some boundaries.
Well, and you set the example. If you set the example, they're going to want to be like you and follow you. So,
I would like to ask, we're starting to get a little bit down on our time.
Okay.
I would like to ask you to talk a little bit about your staff, because we've referred to them, but I don't think I want to give you a chance to talk about them, how much they mean to you, and how do you select them?
Oh my goodness. Well, they have to go through the standard interview process, as most would for any position that they're applying for. But we really do look for good, wholesome values. We look for the training and experience that they've had. And I am just in awe every day of our staff. I mean, they work and train these students in the proper way. They love and respect them. They just are amazing in working with the students that we have. Everyone from our Miss Savannah, who works with our younger students, to Miss Casey and Valerie and Dixon and everyone else that has the opportunity to be there on a daily basis. It's amazing to watch.
What's your favorite part?
Oh, I love the moment when a student has something that clicks and you see that light bulb turn on, like, oh my goodness, I just got this, or I've mastered this skill or this trick. That to me is a shining moment. And then I love when they've worked extremely hard and it's now their time on stage to shine, and you can sit back and you can see all of the hard work fall into place, and you just watch that magic happen.
Confidence.
It's beautiful.
Look, like I said, we've run out of time.
That's
Unfortunately,
right.
I could talk to you for an hour and a half, I'm sure.
Well, thank you.
We have your website up.
Okay.
if you'd like to tell us how to get in touch with you or just walk us through your website.
Okay, sure.
You can see the
absolutely.
website right over there.
Oh, I can see it. Wow, that's fun. I'm seeing some of my awesome little kids over here. So our website is www.starboundperformers.com, and you can go there to see. There's a few highlights, pictures, possibly some videos as well. There's a way to register for classes, and we would love to offer anyone in our community here a free trial class as a gift from us to you. And then my phone number should be there as well, and you can text or call me at that phone number.
You heard it here, a free class, a free
right.
trial class from Joe Knows South Lake
And Starbound Performers, yes.
Actually, the class is from Starbound Performers, but you heard it here.
But we'll hook Joe into that. Maybe Joe will be there that day.
Oh, maybe. You never know. Maybe I'll come out and visit. I'd like to say thank you once again to Jennifer. Thank you for joining us
Thank you,
much. I
Joe.
really, really appreciate it. Look, if you know a guest that should be on Joe Knows South Lake, let me know. The contact information is up. If you know somebody who should be advertising here, I still have a spotlight space for advertisers. Let me know. Again, the same contact information. And finally, there is greatness inside you. Dare to let that greatness out. Show people your inner beauty today. That's all I have for today. I'll see you tomorrow, and I love you. Bye-bye. My name is Joe. 20 years ago, my wife and I moved to Lake County with our 4 young children and settled down. In that time, we've worked, worshiped, played, and raised our family. Today, I've met the people and discovered the businesses and organizations that make up a vibrant, dynamic community. Join us as we share with you what makes South Lake great. I'm Joe, and Joe Knows South Lake.